Hey everyone, welcome back to All Adventures Great and Small. We're here looking at this Coghlan's Fire in a Box. It says no lighter, no problem, 6-piece kit. And it is a little kit I picked up a few days ago at REI. And I thought it was kind of an interesting combination of products. And so I wanted to quick do a little unboxing video and show you what comes in this, and I'll give my thoughts on it. So I've not opened this before, haven't looked in one. This is not staged, it's me just opening it. So if you're interested in this or interested in fire starting kits, this is for you. What I like about it right off the bat and why this caught my attention was that it has this extendable bellows in it. And that's something that I find to be super valuable when trying to start a fire. So we'll run through this. It looks like it's got a striker bar and a flint. It's got some sort of tinder in it, some jute, and then a magnesium bar, which if you're not familiar with that, then we'll talk a little bit about that. But that's what's inside, and the can is a little bit on the larger side. So I have here, this would be the same size as an Altoids tin. You can see it's a little bit bigger. So, all right. Well, let's open this up and see what's inside. Okay, we'll set the box aside. And look at that, just in case you forget what's inside, it says fire in a box, and it's actually pretty cool. Kind of a printed with some texture to it. Backside is plain, and there's no hinge on the box. It looks like it just closes up. So, all right, let's open it up. All right. So we got the top lid here. Looks like there's some instructions. Let's see what this says. How to build a fire using the Fire in a Box kit. Okay. And same thing in another language. So, all right, so it has instructions. We'll set that aside. And then inside, looks like here's your little extendable billow. Okay. So this extends out. Okay. They have like a little mouthpiece. Let's put that back in. All right, and that's the tip. Okay. All right. Closes with some oomph there. Okay, we'll set that aside. Next, look at this. Here's your jute. This basically is just some twine, and not sure exactly what it's made of. It does kind of crumble in my hand, so very dry. It'll definitely ignite very quickly. Okay, this is now the empty box. Here's a starter, and it's tied up a little bit. So my goal here is not to start a fire in my house, so I'm not going to actually be testing this, but I'm sure this works well for igniting, or at least making a spark. All right, this looks like the magnesium. So get this out. Remember I said this is not staged. I didn't practice it, so you get to see me fumble. All right, there you go. So here's a magnesium bar. This is pretty much what you expect. I'm sure you've all seen these guys. Take a knife or a blade or here, this guy, and you shave off some of the magnesium into a little pile, and then you ignite that with your striker. It's gonna burn super hot and get things going very quickly. And it works well whether it's wet or, it can be totally soaked through and it'll still work. So very, very helpful to have. All right, so few observations. Everything fits in the tin. It looked like maybe you could get a little bit more in the tin. So, right, if we get everything back in here, there is some extra room. If you're a fan of building little survival kits inside of these tins, this one might be a good foundation, but some of these pieces are pretty big. One of the things that I've noticed from trying to start fires when we're camping and out in the woods is it can be really difficult. So having a kit like this, you might look at this and say, well, what's the value? And for somebody with some experience, they might look at this and quickly determine, they really just don't need it. that they have enough confidence to start a fire on their own. However, I look at this and say, but if you don't have a ton of experience with it, or maybe you're in, find yourself in some bad conditions, having some of these tools on hand can be really helpful. So having a magnesium, if you don't already have one in part of your kit, having a fire starter, an igniter of some sort, that's super, super valuable. Having something dry is good. And one thing I noticed, this is not waterproof, obviously. This is just simply a tin, right? Just press this together. So if this were to be exposed to, be submerged into water, it's gonna get wet. I think, if you left it sit upside down and it's being rained on, I don't know why you'd do that, but if that happened, I'm sure it would get wet. But you do need to protect this, this material. Otherwise, that's not gonna burn, obviously, if it's wet, or at least not well. Starting a fire with these things, with the fire starter, with this type of flint, it is really hard. The flint bars, they, will ignite the magnesium shavings or the jute, pretty easy. But if you don't have something that's really dry and you're trying to use one of these, you're gonna die. There's no way you're gonna actually start a fire that's gonna be meaningful without a lot of practice. So I think that's just the thing that I would drive home is however you're gonna start a fire, if you're relying on this in an emergency, if you don't practice beforehand, you are not gonna succeed. So I'll just say that. But anyways, what I like about it is that it has this bellows. Just to quick jump back to this, the reason why this is really important is you could start your fire. You might be able to even start it in this box even, and using your tinder and some jute, and then you can use your igniter to strike into this. Maybe if it's windy and then you got a little fire here, set that underneath some bigger wood and kindling, and then you can extend this, and then you could blow air right into the fire, right? Not blowing it out, but just providing a little bit of oxygen, a little bit of air in there, a little bit of wind movement that can help fan the flame and get the fire going. So my goal here is not to teach you how to start a fire or act like I am the pro. So I am just simply saying, based off what I see here, this is a unique little kit. I really like it, mainly because it comes with this billow. So if you're in the market for a little fire starting kit to go in your bag, be a part of an emergency kit, in a situation where maybe you don't have a lighter or your lighter's failed, I think this is a great fit. So again, this is the Coghlan's Fire in a Box, and it's a 6-piece kit. So there you go. If you have questions, comments, don't like what I said, or think something was helpful, please feel free to comment below, and subscribing is awesome. All right, thanks so much.